This past summer, we had a music festival called the Arise Music Festival, and one of the musicians in the festival goes by the name of Polish Ambassador. It struck him a couple of years ago. All these people, all these young people were coming out, and they were so full of energy, and they were coming to his shows, and they were dancing, and he thought to himself, how do we harness this energy? And through talking to friends and talking around, he realized that people could come out and have a positive impact on the land by implementing the practices and the principles of permaculture. Denver last year, there was 400 people that came out to dedicate their energy to a piece of land to make it better. And how do we make it better? Well, we add things that last. We add things that are going to grow and mature. These are some of the permaculture principles. Make use of succession. Think about the long term. So we're planting fruit trees and digging bioswales. So this was the Permaculture Action Tour that happened in 2014. And this year in 2015, right before Arise Music Festival, we had an Action Day here. Leading up to the Action Day was a 3-day class, and then the next day was the Permaculture Action Day here at Sunrise Ranch. And we had about 150 people come on out. They brought tools. We had a business that donated food and catered the event, and people just went for it. It was nicely organized. People, there were teams of people doing different tasks, such as pruning the fruit trees. We got a chipper and we chipped the trees, and then we immediately put those wood chips back down as mulch into the garden. And so this is the sort of nutrient cycling that people got to witness. Not only that, we dug a swale, an earthwork, or a rainwater harvesting swale that diverted water that would normally cause erosion. We diverted it in a way that slows it down, allows it to sink down and infiltrate, and then we can grow plants in that now moisture soil. We also did, we built a cob oven, and we built this beautiful gate here that I'm standing in front of. We also did a new pathway with flagstone, and people said, who observed it, they said, boy, it looked like some kind of beehive or organized chaos. Everybody was moving around almost like chaos, but it was for a common goal. Everybody knew what they were doing, and what this common goal is in my opinion, of a higher consciousness. When people come together to work on the land, and we weren't just tilling it up. People have come together for many years to till agriculture and to plant annuals, but that's a one-time, that's a one-off thing. In this permanent culture, this permaculture, we're not so concerned with annuals, and we're not so concerned with tilling. What we're concerned about is building soil, building fertility, increasing biomass, and species diversity, both plants and of animals. And so what is typically said is that in a permaculture project will take a little bit more work in the beginning, but in the long term it will endure. Think about planting a fruit tree. It takes a lot of work to dig the hole, plant the tree, but then you might have peaches for generations to come. And that's the sort of mindset, or that's the way that we're thinking now. And to see it manifested collectively, it's not just one person, it's not just one small group. It was a whole slew of people. We're just scratching the surface with what can be done when people organize in that way. it's important because we're stoking a fire, and it's just a small little ember, and really for permaculture to really work, to really capitalize on the magic, it needs to be the whole community. You know, everybody has to have at least a certain level of understanding about you know, some of these primary principles, like produce no waste, and everybody would need to be on board with that. Everybody would need to understand that. And so my initial answer or thought was, well, the reason it's important is because we got to keep this fire burning, right? We've started something that's been going for about 5 or 6 years now, and it is, like you said, a program within a program within a community. But in order for this community to really achieve its goals for sustainability, in my opinion, permaculture needs to be adopted by everybody and everything, because it's about integration, right? Permaculture, it's about the connection of all the parts. And so if we have like this little isolated instance of permaculture, then it's going to be limited. And one of the founders of permaculture, Bill Mollison, he says that the only limit to the yield that we can generate is our own creativity and our own imagination. I mean, it's a big machine, and it's kind of a microcosm of the bigger picture. So if we could get permaculture to work in this community, which is an equal challenge to getting it to work in the whole world, but it's the similar challenges. It's communication. It's getting like people to work together in such a way. But really, it's a vision. You know, permaculture is a vision about how we can live together as humans and provide for all of our needs from on-site.
Culture fades with tears and grace, leaving us stunned, hollow with shame. We have seen this all before.